Hello, Super Sleuths. I'm Gumshu, and I'll be your deck detective. Deck Detective is a series in which every week I play and discuss a new deck. This week we're looking at Sky Striker, an Eternal format superstar that's gotten some new support in the latest update and is slowly getting off the ban list, with Kagari going to 2 most recently. Sky Striker is an archetype of link monsters and spell cards centered around Sky Striker Ace Ray and Sky Striker Ace Rose, the pilots of the various mechs and weapons within the Sky Striker arsenal. There's a whole treasure trove of lore that you can find out by reading the special manga series this archetype has, but as far as gameplay goes, it's a toolbox deck, using spell cards that you search and recycle to gain advantage, answer board states, and assemble bodies to end the game. With that, let's get into the deck list. Here's the list, and yeah, most of the list is staple cards. Sky Striker is just kinda like that. First up, 3 Effect Veiler, 3 Maxi, 3 Ash Blossom, 9 hand traps here. Effect Veiler is especially notable because it's a spellcaster, which can be summoned back with Celine. Since Hauk is banned, you can no longer summon it from deck to do the line, but it's still pretty good if you just normally draw it. 3 Skystriker Ace Ray, you contribute this card, special summon 1 Skystriker Ace monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone as a quick effect. And the lost card is in your graveyard. If a face-up Skystriker Ace Link monster you control is destroyed in battle, it leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon this card, and each effect once per turn. This is your main starter. It is an insanely good card. Really what makes the deck very annoying. Sky Striker Ace Rose, much less good, but it does have utility as a one-of. If a Sky Striker Ace monster is normal special summon except itself, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then if an opponent's monster, the extra monster, destroy battle, leaves the field because your card effect, while this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this card, then you can negate the effects of one face-up monster your opponent controls. We have 2 Nibiru, again, 2 more hand traps. Kind of clunky because it clogs up your main monster zone, but it is something that you need to have to keep combo in check. 3 Upstart Goblin, free spell. Reinforcement of the Army, searches Ray and also gets a spell engrave. Terraforming, searches Area 0, also gets a spell engrave. 2 Skystriker Mobilize Engage, the best card in the deck. If you control no monsters in your main monster zone, add 1 Skystriker card from your deck to your hand except itself. Then if you have 3 more cards in your graveyard, spells in your graveyard, you can draw 1 card. This is not a once per turn. You can resolve this 3 times a turn, so just an outstanding card. Very crucial for getting your advantage engine rolling. 1 Sky Striker Maneuver Afterburners. If you control no monsters in your main monster zone, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field, destroy it. Then if you have 3 more spells in your graveyard, you can destroy 1 spell trap in the field. If there's a problematic monster you need removed, this card's the way to do it. Sky Striker Airspace Area 0. You can target 1 other card you control, excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, you can add 1 excavated Sky Striker card to your hand. Also shuffle the rest in your deck. Then if you excavate a Sky Striker card, send the target card to the graveyard. And if this card in the field is sent to the graveyard by card effect, yours or your opponent's, you can special summon 1 Sky Striker Ace monster from your deck. So this card is pretty useful in some lines, sending it for more bodies, or being able to just use terraforming, or send other spells to grave, other cards in your main monster zone to grave, or if you have a Ray on field, you can Area 0 target Ray, then chain Ray to summon a Sky Striker Ace monster, and Area 0's effect will still go off because it has the also conjunction. So you can basically get a free card off this, really nice. Sky Striker Mecha Modules multi-roll. Once per turn, you can target 1 other card you control, send that card to the graveyard. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards' effects in response to your spell card activations for the rest of this turn. And then once per turn, during the end phase, you can set Sky Striker spells with different names from your graveyard up to the number of Sky Striker spell cards you activate this turn. This card is face up on your field, but banish them when they leave the field. This card is your advantage engine. It is crazy good. If you can get this on the field and activate a bunch of Sky Striker spells, you can get a resource loop that is nigh unbreakable. You can set 4, if with Area 0, even 5 cards from your graveyard to your field. Just an insane card. 2 Cosmic Cyclone for stuff like Runic. 2 Called by the Grave. Sky Striker Mecha Horda Drones to control no monsters in your main monster zone. Switch summon a Sky Striker Ace token. Yeah, very good card. Just a free summon can go into the Link monsters, and also can be searched for another body to go along with your OTK lines. 3 Sky Striker Mecha Widow Anchor. If you control no monsters in your main monster zone, target a face-up effect monster on the field and negate that face-up monster's effects until the end of the turn. Then if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, you can take control of that monster until the end phase. It's a negate, which is really nice, but it also can take your opponent's monsters for link climbing, so just an all-around outstanding card. Played at 3. 1 Sky Striker Mecha Shark Cannon. If you control no monsters in your main monster zone, you can target a monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish that monster, or if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, you can special summon that monster to your field instead, but it cannot attack. Another insane card. can be used to take monsters from your graveyard for link climbing, which is mostly what it's used for, but the banish effect can also be quite nice on occasion. A crossout designator, 3 Sky Striker, mobilize Link Gauge. The only card of the new support we're playing. Surgical Striker Hamp is kind of mid, and Aileron is one of the most hilariously bad cards I've ever read in my life. So, Link Gauge, if you control no monsters in your main monster zone, you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, except Sky Striker Ace monsters. Also send one other card you control to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon 1 Sky Striker Ace monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. If you have at least 1 light and 1 dark Sky Striker Ace monsters on your field and in your graveyard, this summon monster gains 1,000 attack. So first off, it's 3 more ways to get into your Sky Striker links, so it improves consistency. It can also help your Sky Striker Ace monsters like Kagari and Shizuku to dodge targeted negation like Veiler or Imperm. It also in OTK, if you have a Ray and a Link Gauge in hand and your opponent has an empty board, you can deal exactly 8,000 damage by Ray in battle phase, swinging for 15, tag out Ray for Hayate, swing for another 15, Hayate effect, dump Rose, Link Gauge, send Hayate, summon Kagari, Kagari effect, add back the Link Gauge, Kagari will be at 2,500 because of this card, swing direct for 25, then Link Gauge again, send Kagari for Shizuku, and that'll be 2,500 to lethal them off. So, just an outstanding card. You can also, if you chain a card, if you have a card like Upstart Goblin, you can Upstart Goblin, then chain Link Gauge to send the Upstart Goblin on field for this card's effect. Kind of similar to like a Forbidden Droplet, how it does it. So just get a free activation to this. Really nice card. And then finally, 2 Infinite Impermanents. In the extra deck, 2 Kagari. So this card's semi-limited from the recent ban list. Well, I guess not the recent ban list, not the recently announced one, but the one that's in effect before this one. They each require a Sky Striker Ace monster that is not of an attribute they currently are. If this card is special summoned, you can target a Sky Striker spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand, gains 100 attack for each spell in your graveyard, and then you can only special summon Sky Striker Ace Kagari once per turn. Each Sky Striker Ace you can only special summon once per turn. 3 Sky Striker Ace is Shizuku. Monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack defense for each spell in your grave. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card was special summoned this turn, you can add a Sky Striker spell from your deck to your hand with a name different from the cards in your graveyard. 2 Sky Striker Ace Hayate. This card can attack directly, and after damage calculation with this card battled, you can send a Sky Striker card from your deck to the graveyard. And 1 Sky Striker Ace Kaina. This card is special summoned. You can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack until the end of your opponent's turn. And then each time you activate a Sky Striker spell card or its effect, gain 100 life points immediately after the card or effect resolves. This is usually used if your opponent runs over your Shizuku on their turn. You can summon the Ray back from your graveyard, then you can chain Ray to summon Kaina to stop a monster that will be attacking you. A lot of times this can preserve your Sky Striker Ace monster on the field and help you keep from getting hit for too hard. So really nice. Shizuku obviously helps search and engage. It also searches really anything you need. You can also do something called the Shizuku Shuffle. We do this in one of the game replays, but you can search Widow Anchor with multi-roll up, activate Widow Anchor, target Shizuku, then multi-roll set back the Widow Anchor you just searched off Shizuku to the field. And Hayate is used to get either get Rose, Array, and Grave if you feel like you need those. It can also help get another spell engraved. It can get an Engage engraved to add back with Kagari, or it could just add to your spell count by dumping a spell you don't want anymore, like Link Gauge or Area 0. Very nice card. Nightmare Phoenix, used to clear up spell traps. Kita and Dark Charmers, they're made with a fire and a dark monster especially, and they can summon a fire or dark from your opponent's graveyard, useful for link climbing. Sky Striker Ace Zeke, 2 monsters, including a Sky Striker Ace monster. You can only, if this card is link summoned, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field, banish it until your opponent's next end phase, and then once per turn, you can target 1 other card you control. This card gains 1,000 attack, then send the targeted card to the graveyard. It's useful in niche scenarios, which you need to get a main monster from your main monster zone off the field, or for just removing a problematic monster that your opponent has. Nightmare Unicorn, Celine, Queen of the Master Magicians, and then Access Code Talker. So, that's the list. And now that we've done the card by card, let's play some games. We'll play 2 games, one in which I win that I commentate over, and one in which I lose that I commentate over. The game is in foot. Engage. This duel was taken from our viewer duel that we did last night against Nya Rider. Shoutouts to him. We're going second, and this hand looks nice. Always good to see the Bay Ray in your grip. Our opponent summons Scareclaw Acro, then Scareclaw Reichheart. Reichheart search a rival, then link Acro into Lightheart. Lightheart effect, searching Primitive Planet Reichphobia from their deck to their hand, which they then activate, searching Astra. They summon Astra, then link 3 into Triheart. Then they use Triheart to summon Astra to the field to search Balone from deck to hand, which they then summon, then activate a rival to summon Acro from the graveyard. This is a scary Triheart for sure, but you'll find that Triheart does very little to stop us. For turn, we draw Link Gauge, a fantastic card to provide protection from targeted negation. We start by terraforming for Area 0, then activating it before summoning Ray. Area 0 effect to target Ray, so we can use Ray's effect to tag out and get the Area 0 for free, but our opponent Ghost Ogres the field spell. I guess they aren't too afraid of what Area 0 summons, since we have Ray out. Area 0 effect. Then they chain Ash. Huh. That resolves. Area 0 is negated. And then we link into Hayate. We move to battle phase. Hayate swing directly. And then effect to dump Link Gauge from deck to graveyard. And folks, that's 3 spells in grave. We engage to search multi-roll. Then draw Cosmic. After which we activate multi-roll. Then we link into Kagari to target engage. They have the effect Veiler in hand, but, as you'll see, we have the Link Gauge to send Kagari from the field to protect it from getting negated by Veiler. So that resolves. Link Gauge sends Kagari to summon Shizuku, and then Kagari adds back the engage successfully. We engage again, searching Widow Anchor, and then drawing Rose. Then we Afterburners target Triheart, which they protect with a rival's graveyard effect. After which, we Cosmic Cyclone Reichphobia. We set Widow Anchor and move to end phase, where I get to show off a little maneuver called the Shizuku Shuffle. Shizuku search Widow Anchor, and activate Widow Anchor on Shizuku, putting it in grave so we can set it to the field with multi-roll. We also set Link Gauge, and engage, then pass. They draw for turn, and then immediately move to battle phase. They bonk Shizuku with Triheart, which we then use Ray effect to come back. Astra's effect gives Triheart 3 attacks, and Balone gives it piercing. Fortunately, we have an answer. Ray effect to tag out into Kaina, and Kaina to stop Triheart from attacking, affecting him since Kaina can't go into defense position. Main phase 2, they link Acro and Balone into Phoenix, using Phoenix discarding Imperm to target Link Gauge. I don't want them to do that, so I chain Widow Anchor. They use, which that goes through, deciding not to take it. They use Triheart effect, which we then chain another Widow Anchor to, taking him to our field. So then, they go ahead and link Astra into Lightheart. Lightheart effect, searching Reichphobia. Then they activate Reichphobia to search Reichheart. Reichheart effect, summon to search a rival. Then a rival to summon Astra from graveyard. They link Reichheart and Lightheart to make Dark, and they Dark take Ray from my graveyard. Dark and Ray make Selene. And Selene effect to gain counters. Then Selene remove counters to summon Veiler from grave, which they link Selene and Veiler into access code Talker. They use access code to gain 3000 attack, then access code banish Dark to pop Link Gauge, then they banish Selene, popping multi-roll. Afterwards, they link off Makaina, their access code, Astra and Phoenix to summon Closed World before passing turn. Some damage was done, but they got one part of this wrong. We still have Engage. We draw Maxi for turn. And then we activate Area 0, then summon Ray. Area 0, target Ray, then chain Ray. Ray effect goes ahead and summons Kagari. Then Area 0 reveals Imperm, Maxi, and Effect Veiler, missing entirely. But that's fine. Kagari adds back Afterburners, then Afterburners effect to pop Closed World and Reichphobia. We activate Engage, searching Widow Anchor, and drawing Ash, before linking into Hayate, using Rose effect in hand to special summon, before chaining Widow Anchor to take their Triheart. That resolves. Tryhard taken. Rose comes out. Then we use their Tryhard and our Hayate to make access code. Access code effect, targeting Tryhard to gain 3000. And that, folks, is exact lethal. 6800 attack. Good game. That was fun and exciting. Now let's show boring and sad. This deck, which is a lot going second tools, can still be comboed out of the game, as shown here. We open no hand traps going second, and they normal summon Skullcrabat Joker, searching Pensork before scaling Symphonic Warrior Guitar, using Guitar's effect, discarding Gate 0 and summoning Mics from deck, which has the effect to give them an extra normal summon. They pen call Pitching Endymion to search Harmonizing Magician and perform a Pal Celestial Magician. Link 2 into Beyond the Pendulum. The Beyond the Pendulum using the effect to search Zephyr Neo. And then they scale perform Pal Pen Sork. And then Pin Summon 4, summoning Symphonic Warrior Mics, Skullcrabat Joker, Harmonizing Magician, and Zephyr Neo. They use Pen Sork effect, chain 2 Harmonizing Magician, and chain 3 Zephyr Neo. All that resolves fine. Zephyr Neo searches Zephyr Providence. Harmonizing summons Oath Dragon from deck. And then Pin Sork resolves. They Synchro Harmonizing an Oath Dragon into Verone de Fleur. Then they link Joker and Zephyr Neo into Electromite. The Electromite effect, place Servant of Endymion. Then they pop Pen Sork with Electromite to add the Endymion. Electromite effect to draw a card. Then they scale Endymion before activating Zephyr Providence to search Divine Strike before using the extra normal from Mics to summon Celestial Magician. Celestial effect to add during the end phase, and Celestial into Beyond into Barricade Borg, which is a machine, so they can use Barricade Borg and Mics to summon Auroradon. Auroradon effect to summon the tokens. 1, 2, 3. Then they use Auroradon to tribute 2 tokens to summon O-Lion, which synchros with the remaining token to summon Dinglong. Dinglong effect to search 9 pillars, and then O-Lion effect to summon token. That resolves. And there's the 9 pillars. Then they use the materials of which to summon Borreload Savage Dragon. Borreload Savage Dragon effect. And then they chain Dinglong first the Yang Zing. All that resolves. Dinglong summons Zephyr Neo from deck. And then Borreload Savage equips Beyond the Pendulum to give it counters. They set 2, pass turn, searching Joker or Celestial Magician in end phase. That's 4 Omni Negates for those counting at home. We draw a Link Gauge for turn, which might help a little, before using Upstart for Nibiru. And if that doesn't make the case that going second sucks, I don't know what will. We activate Multi-Roll first, which prompts a negate, to which we chain Link Gauge to get some value off the multi-roll while getting destroyed, which prompts another negate. We chain another Link Gauge to that, which prompts yet another negate. Good lord. All that resolves. Negate 1, boom. Negate 2, boom. Negate 3, boom. Man, maybe Auroradon really was the problem all along. Activate Shark Cannon to summon Endymion. We try to do this to threaten their last Omni Negate so we can get Engage out of the way, but that doesn't work because Shark Cannon prevents what it summons from attacking, and Providence Engrave would protect Zephyr Neo from getting destroyed by battle anyway. It goes through, and we concede, with nothing else left to do. We're back, and as good as it feels to go off with this deck, it feels like it doesn't really do enough. We've done our investigation, now let's get into the closing argument. Verdicts are the same as usual. Going by predicted expected ranking, law-abiding nursing home resident is below platinum, harmless delinquent is platinum, lone wolf is low diamond, while public enemy number 1 is diamond 1. Now up for judgment, Sky Striker. This deck has a lot going for it. This deck has some really good going second tools. On top of being able to shove almost half of the deck full of staples, cards like Widow Anchors and Afterburners have a lot of going second utility. It's a deck that can win going first or second, which is rare in this day and age. It also has one of the most oppressive resource loops I've ever seen in a deck. Resolving Pot of Greed 3 times in a turn before setting 4 cards from your graveyard with multi-roll has to be one of those evil feelings you can get in a card game. Finally, it's just really, 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 really fun. It's simultaneously monkey-brained, yet one of the hardest decks you can play in Yu-Gi-Oh! And now for the negatives. This deck doesn't do a whole lot going first. Shizuku Pass doesn't really cut it, and many decks like Branded and Sword Soul will just kind of annihilate you without giving you a chance to get another turn. Alternatively, if you go second, a lot of decks will just combo you out of the game. Being so reliant on drawing from hand traps is a big problem, and playing more dedicated going second cards in place of them just makes you more open to more oppressive combo decks or back row decks. Finally, it has trouble actually finishing games. If they play into your Charmers or play Link monsters, it can be fine. Without gimmicky Link Gauge OTKs or much assistance from the opponent's monsters, it's hard to put up 8,000 damage in one turn. All in all, it's a fun, flexible control deck with interactive games most of the time, which makes it too weak to compete consistently. Still, a good pilot who can think through lines, deck build properly, and time hand traps correctly can make this deck sing, and that's why I'm giving it the verdict of Lone Wolf. Thank you for watching. If you'd like more guidance on how to make this deck work from people who have played the deck more than me, I highly recommend the Skystriker Discord server in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetype repository, or the Skystriker channel in the Master Duel Meta Discord server. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing to me. Also comment below what you liked, what you think needs improvement, or tell me my list was garbage. Also, check me out on Twitter, where I follow other VTubers and Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, as well as post updates and my thoughts, as well as Twitch, where I stream Master Duel rank climbs, other Master Duel Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content, and other games. Also, if you would like to discuss my content or Yu-Gi-Oh! In general with other like-minded people, consider joining my Discord, linked in the description. Thank you, and have a good day.